Hello everybody, Tomoxian here. Welcome back to Fairy Tales of Nature 2, Destiny of the Tribes. Alright, so I did confirm with Fable, I was not written into the story. That was a character that was created at the end of last story, and that's in commemoration of somebody else Fable knows. Well, also named Thomas. Funny coincidence. But yes, that was a bit at the beginning of the main menu for me, which still makes me very, very happy. Alright, let's continue. Yeah, it looks like we're about 1/3 of the way, so it's going to be probably 2 more episodes. And here's where it gets really fun, because I'm going to have to remember all the voices that I did. Thomas. I know. They started to get weaker after I found out about the warrant. They stopped carrying fruits that day. As you walk around the pavement, you notice 3 familiar faces arriving. Oh, look! It's Sam, Nick, and John the Llama. Here are some people who want to help us. Sam, a friend of Fabo, told me about the warrant coming from court, and the other 2 are John the Llama and Nick. And I'm not messing with you. John actually expressed that he wants to help Fabo, and Nick, being the owner of the llama, though he didn't like it, phrased it like he would own it. He wants to help just because the llama wants to. Anyway, everyone, this is Tomoxian. He is the leader of the Ruby Tribe. Sam. Hello, I'm Sam. Weren't you that guy we passed, or who passed the trading area years ago and didn't even talk to us? Well, I hope you'll be a little more talkative this time. Welcome to the island. John. Incomprehensible llama sounds. Nick. Hi, I'm Nick. I like llamas. I love Nick's voice. Anyway, now we need to get going. We will have to get to the castle and talk to the leader they used to replace Fable. The one in charge should be Harry from the Sapphire Tribe. He is a worker from the court. Let's go. You decide to walk the path to the north, as it has the opening to the tunnel to the former Amethyst Castle. You use this path, as it is the quickest way to the current castle, as the old one has been renovated to the current state according to Thomas. You open the door at the end and leave the tunnel. You now are inside the castle. 2 hours had passed. You look around. At the opposite end of the hallway, you can recognize the throne room. There you can see 2 more rooms, one on each side of the hallway. One has a desk with some files placed on it. The other contains items you recognize. But that's not important right now. You need to get to the throne room. Bum bum, the throne room! You enter the throne room. No one seems to be here. You notice that the tinted window had mostly been shattered. This feels strange. You also suddenly hear the sound of water being poured. Uh-oh! Suddenly, someone draws a sword and tries to kill you, but is stopped by another sword. You step aside and turn around. Action scene. Thomas seems to have retrieved your sword you carried on your back and defended you. He is fighting with the attacker. You notice that the attacker stabbed your advisor before attempting to kill you. They are clutching their wounds and bleeding out. They can't be saved anymore. That's mean. Thomas. Apologies for taking your sword, but I lost mine when a shark attacked the boat on my journey to your island. That's why you carry a spear. Better yet, a harpoon. You turn to the attacker, fighting Thomas, both sides being equally skilled. He has torn clothes. A spot with a larger hole reveals a scar with a dark coloring. He smells like a corpse. His eyes are dark and empty. and he has an inhuman mouth with monstrous teeth. I don't know. They look kind of like W's to me. You realize who it is. A seemingly corrupted version of your father. As if someone skilled in dark magic attempted to resurrect him. Was it Deathcrow? But how? He was banished 5 years ago, shortly after your father died while being possessed by him. You never got to talk to your father because of him. How could he be back? Character information. Jack. Age. Would be 43 now. Role. Former King of the Emerald Island. The father of the player. Died 5 years ago. Still possessed. Thomas, what are you waiting for? Head to the marketplace. You need to prove Fable's innocence. I will deal with this. Run. Don't worry. I'll come along later. Just hurry. You remember your knife. Grab it and stab the creature into the back. But it doesn't react to it and keeps fighting. You run to the gate with Nick, Sam, and John. Well, that was useless. I don't know what that is. Looks like a hill. Oh, it's a gate. You arrive at the gate. No one else appears to be in the castle. You open the gate and walk outside, but only Nick is following you. Sam and John are staying behind. Sam, we are staying behind. If Thomas can't defeat that thing, we need to make sure it doesn't get the ruby. If that happens, John will run off with a sword. He is a fast llama. Nothing could reach someone as fast as him, and I will get some help. Nick can guide you to the center, the place where they will announce the execution set. If you start now, you will be able to reach it by tomorrow morning. You start to walk. You notice a shrine dedicated to Fable's cat Lucy. You remember that you don't have much time to waste. You try to get to the place where the execution is meant to happen with the help of Nick's introduction, and make it to the gate before that place until night. That didn't make sense. Did I read that right? You try to get to the place where the execution is meant to happen with the help of Nick's introduction. I think it's meant to be instruction. And make it to the gate before that place until night. Blah. Okay. But as a result of running so much, you collapse out of exhaustion. While you are lying on the floor, you hear a familiar voice. Sure, a voice you barely heard, yet a familiar one. The day of the execution. Early morning. It's a door and a window. You wake up in a bed inside of a house. You look around. You can see through the window that you are on the upper floor of a house, which appears to be an inn. You look around the room and find a note. You decide to read it. Hello, stranger. Last night, Nick carried you to our doorstep and asked for help. He talked about a llama telling him the importance. Now, well, most things Nick says is just non-essential gibberish. Seeing you convinced my wife and I to help. I remember your face, and I know that you are no threat. We took you to this inn and paid for the night, but we won't be able to help you any further, as we are busy. My wife is working at a warehouse, and I am taking my son to his grandparents. We barely know you, but we trust you. Good luck and best wishes. Sincerely, Barry. Don't I know a Barry? I can swear I know a Barry. Character information. Name. Barry. Age 28. Role. Former guard of the Ruby Jail. Teacher for the Island's Guard. Husband of Rachel. Father of Oswald. Character information. Name. Rachel. Age 27. Role. Worker at a warehouse to temporarily store goods and keep count. Wife of Barry. Mother of Oswald. Character information. Guess who? Oswald. Age 1. Role. Son of Barry and Rachel. That was actually a little bit of motion graphics. Suddenly, a lightning strikes in the sky, but it isn't a normal one. It is a ball lightning, a legendary phenomenon. But you don't have time for this. You have to go to the execution area to save Fabo. You leave your room, go downstairs, and enter the area. Near the entrance, there are people at wooden carts with no animals prepared to carry them. The carts contain several wooden barrels containing olive oil, various types of meat marinated in various herbs and oils, as well as tablecloths according to the labels on them, presumably for a new restaurant. The sky cleared up by now. You can see the courthouse and the execution area. Ooh, guillotine. And a castle. You enter the area. There's a guillotine at the main platform. You see the courthouse in the background. You don't look around at first and think about what you should do and where to go. But you don't know. You wait. There is silence at first. Broken 2 lightnings, however. As you look around, you suddenly notice that you aren't alone. People had already arrived at the center, awaiting the final decision of the judge. But as they saw you, they became silent. They sit close to you, at their designated seats on your left side. They notice that you being alive is proof of Fabo's innocence, that he was the great king he presented himself as, that if you were still alive, others might be living as well, that you being here can stop another innocent life from being taken. You wait for the judge to arrive. In the meantime. Battle scene. It seems like Thomas is all on his own now, as John, Sam, and Tomoxian had fled to the gate. Thomas thinking, I don't know how long I can hold out. He might be less skilled, but he's immortal and I'm tired. Oof. Suddenly, Jack is knocked against the wall, knocking him out and thus saving Thomas. Alright, and I got some information from the creator. This character, not so insidious as I was going for, more dreadfully calm. So, more along the lines of like Sam's voice. Apologies for this. I didn't intend this to happen when experimenting with them. But, well, I guess that's what happens when a body lacks its soul. But I needed to try at least. Now, I know that the soul moved on. Also, we should treat the bystanders, shouldn't we? Though the world of the dead doesn't like tempering too much, their survival won't be too dangerous. I need to use the ruby, though, as it sees me as fitting wielder and is their only way of avoiding death. But in exchange for that, you have to do as I say, or else several people will die, including close ones. There, now to your part. You already set some things into place, but I need some other things done as well. In a nearby room, there will be paperwork and some special equipment. Take those to the prisoner, and bring along the undead Amethyst King. The llama, who will enter in a minute along Sam to save you, should be a fitting way to get there. Don't worry about those 2. They will be fine. But they will need rest, so they won't be much of a help. I'll see you. Thomas looked at the man at first, recognizing his face, yet being confused, looking at Jack on his left side and the advisors from the Ruby tribe, whose wounds healed completely, yet seemed weakened, and then looks back at the man, only for him to be gone. A few seconds later, Sam and John come back. Thomas. Sam, where are the others? I managed to defeat Jack, and someone else saved the advisors, but wants my help. Sam. John, I decided to stay back and sent the others away to reach the center of the island. I figured that in the worst case, we could take the sword as far away as possible with John, and that the other two would suffice to prove Fable's innocence. What kind of help do they want from you? Thomas pulls the knife out of Jack's back and sets Jack down on John's back. That was a tongue twister and a half. Thomas. I hope Nick won't cause trouble, though I'd like to believe he'd be able to fulfill his task. And about the Savior, he wants us to take some things from Fable's office to the jail. He wants us to put things in place for him to act. I hope it won't backfire, but can you take care of the advisors and make sure that they can stay somewhere safe? I'll go to that office and grab the stuff for the jail. Thomas enters the office. There is a bag with Fable's cane, a golden-crested crossbow, an hourglass, and a few filled bottles of omniscience. There also is a sealed letter. Next to the bag, there also is a pile of documents. Should Thomas take a look at the documents? Type either leave to leave the documents alone and just grab the bag, or type view to take a look at the documents. Thomas... Oh, right, I gotta type something. Oops. I'm a nosy boy, so let's view. Oh boy. Note from the future, if you want to skip over like practically 10 minutes of reading, go to this time. The documents, they were very long, quite in-depth about different information and storyline. It's basically lore. So if you want to be in that, just keep watching. Bye. Well, let's start at the top. This is a whole bunch of information that I have no understanding about. I recognize just a few things. For instance, Jack, Tomaxian, Nick, and John. Wait. No, wait. Nick and John the Llama? No, that can't be right. That can't be right. Thomas. Huh. I forgot that Nick used to have a brother. He had one until the war, anyway. We all lost a lot in that war. Thomas touches his eye patch. Thomas. And Nick ended up naming his llama in remembrance to him. Oh, so it wasn't like I thought. Good thing that got straightened out. Nope. No. Ah! You didn't see it, but I clicked out of the game. Enter. Thank you. XLD. Oh dear. Experiments with life and death. I retrieved the corpse from the castle. I chose this subject over the other, as chances of success outweigh more of the risks than on the other. The morgue doesn't know about me taking the body. I replaced it with a mannequin, and that was left over from the execution of the Ruby tribe, and how they call the lie they saw. They won't open the coffin, as it isn't our tradition to look at the corpse after putting it in a coffin, and they shouldn't be able to be suspicious about the weight. They won't check on it, either. The corpse remained with wounds colored dark gray, so this means the possession affects it. But the one who inflicted it doesn't bother healing the wounds. But they don't disappear, either. So the curse still remains in this world. Maybe this is the chance of experimenting without messing up too much. I also risked being seen, but I couldn't start this experiment without his heart, as Deathcrow tended to try to remove them from victims to make them follow commands. after he failed at it on his first victim where he didn't do that. I started preparing the experiment. The substance was extracted from the source. I don't think the warehouse staff fully believed me when I told them I would need the Omnifruits for personal usage, but it doesn't matter. People know that I keep a decent supply on me at all times, just in case. When I began with the extraction process, I soaked cloth bandages in the substance and put them on the corpse to slow down or prevent decomposition until I produced enough of the Omni-Essence. I swap out the bandages every 12 hours. I also started producing more bandages like that to keep my cover and to help the citizens in case of injury. It also finances this project, though I am far from poverty anyway. So I offer the bandages super cheap. This might improve the health situation as well. The next step will start once I have enough of the substance. I have also gotten a tank with a fitting size. As I am considering the loss of substance from preserving the test subject, the bandages, and my personal use, it will take several months if not 1 year to have the needed amount. And this disregards the supply. I'll need more to be planted, so it should be ready in 2 years. Then the next phase will come. Luckily, Omni-Essence doesn't go bad. It says back, but I'm pretty sure it's bad. Even after decades. Oh dear. I have reached my goal. It took 17 months, but I did it. I have obtained enough Omni-Essence to do this step. I filled the tank with the substance and put the subject inside. As he slowly sucks up the essence, I think it was working, but I also had to keep up production to some degree. I have thrice the amount, but the initial amount should last a year. I worked out a way to keep supplying the essence to the tank, so I can let this experiment last for a while. Besides the absorption of essence, I don't see any changes. However, unless the wounds become like 0.01 millimeter smaller, I assume that Deathcrow doesn't bother controlling him anymore, as the Deathcrow remaining here might only be a fraction of the one we all knew here. A manifestation of his curses, possibly connected to the soul, with similar powers, yet a lot weaker. It isn't his soul remaining here, but his curses combined with his original body. I might have a clue on where he might be, but it would be dangerous to attack now. I need to find an opportunity to get rid of him. His body controlling the curses needs to be destroyed. I'll have to distract him long enough while someone else destroys it. And I think the best bet would be through fire. This would permanently lift all curses as well, so anyone who is directly cursed will be freed. I need to do this, as I promised. I have stopped production on the bandages, as I won't need them anymore. I made a huge mistake. Death doesn't like being cheated. The Afterlife found out about me trying to bring back the king. They made all Omniberries start to wilt. They will turn to dust. But something else is happening too. While the subject seems to slowly recover, he remains unconscious, and I start getting weaker. The illness will leave me enough time to do what I need, but in the end, my life will be exchanged for his. I hope that he won't be feral, though, as I don't know if his soul is still in this realm. He might be. If the soul moved on, or if I fail at my other task, I will die in vain. I spent over 3 years on this experiment, and only now the side effects begin to show. I can't give up just yet, but I also noticed how the realm punishes me even more. Years ago I got the curse of seeing every single death of any human, but now I started having other dreams, other visions as well, about death and misery. Maybe I can explore those dreams enough to find details to hatch a plan on how to decrease loss and increase gain regarding the situation. I will cause everything to fall into place. And if this is the last thing I'll do to buy myself time, I used a method that allows me to use more power. What? Rules of death. Oh, dear Lord. I have taken a look at how the realm of death works regarding my observations, and found several rules. No one can escape death permanently. You can become a helper of the realm, which means you get a second chance at life in exchange for serving the realm to do a task, which means the realm will help you if required, but you need to do their task. The realm doesn't like it if you mess too much with it. If you try to resurrect someone by retrieving one soul, it can result in negative consequences, at worst suffering from plague-like symptoms, not contagious though, and it can result and eventually death. But if your case is light, you will begin with visions/nightmares. If the realm will cause death as stated, it will be giving you time to do their task, but breaking a rule won't have any other downsides regarding your afterlife. If you tried being good and or fulfilled a task given by the realm, afterlife supposedly would be more pleasant for you, giving you what you desired the most in life. There are rare cases of the realm allowing retrieval of a soul, but even if it was on the path of their task, you will face punishment. Punishments may be lifted in the afterlife, or if the soul brought back is returned. The legendary event of a ball lightning occurs every time a soul is retrieved from the realm of the dead. If too many souls are retrieved from the afterlife from one living person, the realm will send its guardians. A soul can exist outside its body and even interact with its environment, but it will require great power normal mortals don't possess. While mortals can wield items enchanted with life force and thus power, they would only be able to harness a tiny fraction of it, though if someone kept using one for a long time, they might be able to use up to half of it, and while a spirit could take years of harnessing this power, it could absorb it a lot easier. Depending on how powerful you are, you can heal others, and maybe appear in places in form of your soul, but it would take incredible willpower for the second if you are weaker. If you are more powerful, you can cast magical objects. It would require the use of dark magic to extract the life force of living beings, but it wouldn't require high power. If something was collecting its strength for a while, it could do a lot even without much life force on its own. Eyes can tell you something. Coloration of the iris means that someone else is in control. The eyeball itself turning dark would mean that someone powerful would have their dark magic strengthened by emotion. I only understood about half of that. Oh, hey, look at that. A little achievement. That's cool. Once you're done viewing documents, leave. Okay, leave. Thomas grabs the bag and leaves the room, and as he does, Sam comes back. Sam has taken the Ruby Tribe members to safe guest bedrooms inside the castle, and you carry Jack outside, where John is waiting, with a wooden cart. Thomas puts the now cuffed and unconscious, corrupted Jack and the bag inside the cart, while Sam is preparing it to be pulled by John. After this is done, all four of them travel to the jail. Bum bum! Thomas, Sam, John, and the unconscious Jack reach the jail by early morning at the next day, shortly after you reach the execution area. In front of the jail, a guard is blocking the door. Jerome. Stop. What do you want? And what are you carrying? I need to know why you are here, and I need to search you. The prisoner mustn't escape. Before Thomas gets to say anything, Sam responds to Jerome. We need to get to Fabo. He is innocent, and we must save him. We also got proof of his innocence at the castle. But Jerome doesn't believe Sam. Even if you are telling the truth, no one is allowed to talk to him. Once the sun is right above us, I'll take him to the execution area. Also, I won't just leave to look. You might be lying to get a chance of freeing him. I can't allow that. Thomas, please let us through, Jerome. We are telling the truth. Fabo didn't execute the Ruby Tribe. He made us shoot mannequins on a ship while the tribe escaped. He didn't just blindly act on rage. He wanted to do the right thing. This is the whole truth, my son. All right, Father. You can pass. But I won't search the bag. I hope I won't regret it. But as you are family, and as you taught me to serve in doing what's right, which led me to step into your footsteps, I trust you. Thomas and Sam enter the jail. Thomas carrying Jack and Sam carrying the bag. John stays outside. Oh dear, a poor forlorn Fabo. Thomas and Sam enter the jail, carrying the bag and Jack. They see Fabo, but he doesn't look well. Black spots are on his face, and he looks weak in general. I'd say that's a pretty good cliffhanger point. So, yeah, tune in 2 days from now for the next one. I'm hoping that we can finish it up in one more, but if it doesn't, we'll just keep watching. It's a series, okay? I'm figuring this out as I go. So yes, thank you so much for watching. Go check out my channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out some of the other awesome games that I've played, made videos of. There's quite a few of them out there. Like, comment, whatever you like. Go check out this game or the game that came right before it. Both will be linked in the description below. Have an awesome day. This is Tomoxian signing out. Peace.